Hi class, let's talk about roots and affixes. This is going to be the basis for which we understand vocabulary in this course. And this will actually be extremely helpful for you in this class and beyond as you continue to study your own language. So let's talk about how words are created. In our own vocabulary, we have short words like the article a, as well as longer words such as inextricably and denunciation. There are some short words such as speak and solve that are called base words. Base words cannot be reduced to smaller parts, but other words can be added to them to produce longer words with various meanings. There are two kinds of word parts, roots and affixes. A root is a word part that comes from another language such as Greek or Latin. We'll look at more of those in a minute. An affix is a word part that can be attached to either a root or a base word to create a new word. So this is affix, the noun. It's not affix, the verb. It's not the verb affix, which means to attach something. It's affix. So affixes can be divided into two categories. Prefixes, which appear at the beginning of words, and suffixes, which appear at the end of the words. And this might be review for a lot of you, and that's okay. So we're all just going to get on the same page with our affixes and our root words. So here are some common prefixes that you probably already know. So by means to, anti means against, etc. Those types of things go at the beginning of words, whereas suffixes go at the end of words, and they have different meanings. So all means adjectival suffix, etc. So let's look at this. Here are some root words. Here's the Latin root tang, which means touch. Another root word comes from the Greek, chrome, that means color. We use these roots in the English language in a lot of our words. How about some affixes? Here's a prefix, in. Notice how the dash is after it. That's to tell you that that's where the root word goes. So in dash, that dash means it goes before, it's a prefix. It means not. So if you put in front of a word or a root, it makes it mean not that. And a suffix, dash, able, it means able to. Oh, there's a typo there. That should say meaning, able to. So those are some ideas. Those are some roots and affixes which you might be familiar with. So the meaning of a word is related to the meaning of its word parts. So basically what we're trying to say is that if you can find the meaning of the different parts in the word, so the base word or the root word and the prefix or suffix if there is one, if you understand those meanings, you can figure out or unlock the meaning of an unfamiliar word. You can break it down into its component parts and think about the meaning of the affixes in the root. For example, if we looked at the word intangible, we could break the word into its parts. So the prefix, the root, and the suffix. And we have in, tang, and able. The prefix, the root, and suffix that equal our English word intangible. So we know that tang is a Latin root that means touch. In is a prefix meaning not, and able is a suffix meaning able to. So if you didn't know what this word intangible meant, you could break it down into its three component parts. And if you knew those component parts by themselves, you could figure out what the word means. So intangible means we are not able to touch it. It's something that is not touchable. A group of English words can be derived from the same word part or root, and we call these types of groups word families. You can use this knowledge to help you determine the meaning of unknown words as well. So let's look at some examples. Let's look at the words solo, solitary, and solitude. The root that we see in all three of these is sol, S-O-L. But what does it mean? If you knew what some of those words mean, but maybe not one of them, you could use that root word sol to help you figure it out. So the answer, sol means alone. Can you think of other words in the family? Words like solitaire, that's a game that you play by yourself, that you play alone. Soloist, okay, sol, that a soloist is someone who would play something by themselves. So here are the answers, someone who performs alone. So let's try, we have Diminish, diminutive, and minimum. What do these words have in common? Try to find the word family that belongs to. And which words do you know? You probably know minimum and diminish. What do you think the meaning of the root is? So here we have the root word min. M-I-N is in all of those, min. We know that diminish means to make something smaller. We know that minimum is the smallest amount. So I think min means small, and that's exactly what it means. So that's what the meaning of the root is. So let's practice these. We have this word family: genesis, genetics, eugenics, genealogy. Obviously the root here is gen, and the meaning of gen is birth, race, or produce. Okay, so all of these have something to do with either birth, or your race, or your produce, or what's been produced. Okay, another example: maniac, kleptomania. The word root that they have in common is mania. And if you knew that root word mania meant madness, you would know what the meaning of these two words is. Maniac is someone who is mad. Kleptomania is someone who steals things. Here's a word family: epidermis, dermatology. The root that they share in common is derm. And if you knew the definition of, or the meaning of the root word derm, which is skin or covering, you could figure out what these words mean. These also have some affixes on them. Epi is a prefix. Ology is a suffix. So if you knew those, you could figure out what the whole meaning of the words were. Here's another one: laboratory, belabor, laborious. The root word they share in common is lab. And you should know that lab means work. So all of these ideas have something to do with work. A laboratory is where someone does work. Okay. Why are we even studying this? It seems really rudimentary, but it actually is really helpful to learn your roots, your prefixes, and your suffixes. It gives you context for understanding new words. It can even help you increase your SAT, ACT, GRE scores. It can help you on your AP tests. And it can help you in your own writing, coming up with words, and helps you with your reading comprehension, how to find the meaning of the words from the context around it and from the root words that you know. So that's why we're learning it. And so we're going to switch over to our English language roots chart. And so you'll have a printout of this, and it is a list of 448 root words, and we're going to learn them all by the end of the year. And it seems like a lot, but we'll divide it up into really manageable chunks. And a lot of these you probably already know, and we'll use these a lot in context in our reading and our writing. And so you'll see that they're all numbered so that we can all stay on the same page as far as which ones we're learning that week. So they're mixed together. Roots, prefix, suffix are all together in this one column. And you'll see, for instance, where's one that you would probably already know? Agri or agro. Okay, the meaning of it is pertaining to fields or soil. And some examples are agriculture, agro-industry. So those are some example words that have to do with this root word. There are some words in the English language that might contain the root word, but they're not related at all. Okay, so sometimes you'll find a word that you think, oh, I know what the root word is, but it's not really that root word at all. But there are lots of examples here. So remember, if there is a dash after it, that means it's a prefix. It's going at the beginning. So if you put a in front of something, that means not or without. So apolitical, that means without politics. Atheist, without God or without belief. Apathy, without feeling, etc. So that is a prefix. If there's a dash in front of the affix, like this one has dash, ACY or dash CY, that goes at the end. So privacy, infancy, adequacy, etc. Those are suffixes. If they don't have a dash, they are root words, root-based words, okay? So those are all these down here. There are mostly those on this list. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this list up and we're going to learn these root words. And I expect you guys to practice these over and over with your flashcards, to quiz each other, test each other, learn the words that would go in these root word families. And so that's what we're going to do. And this is going to be the most helpful thing for you as you go on in your life and you're learning more words. You can always come back to these root words and learn them. So I hope that's been helpful for you. And so start your first round of learning your root words. We'll see you in class.